Shana Tova. It is wonderful to see all of you. And I know that you're there and I'm here, but it really does feel like we are all together because we're celebrating this holiday of Rosh Hashana together. So you might be in your homes, you might be at a grandparent's home or a friend's home, but wherever you are, what I want you to do is think about the space you're in and think if there's a way that you can make it feel a little bit more special. Now, you might be in your pajamas, that's fine, but you might also want to put on some nicer clothes. Maybe you're in your room and it's a mess. You can pause the video and you can clean up a little bit to help that space feel a little bit more special. Or maybe you want to move into a special room in your house or sit outside where you can see nature. Anything that you can do to make this moment as special as you can. And now we're going to sing with Cantor, Hine Matov Uman Na'im Shevet Achim Gam Yachad, how wonderful it is for all of us to be together. And we celebrate the ways in which we can be together now through the wonders of technology. And we look forward to the time when all of us are together in person again. So Shana Tova, I look forward to joining with you in song, in prayer, in story, and in thinking of all the ways in which this is going to be a Shana Tova U'Mituka, a sweet and happy New Year.
Hine matov manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim, 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 shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov, ya la 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 la. Hine matov, ya la 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 la. Hine matov umanayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim, shevet achim gam yachad.
Today is Rosh Hashana, the first day of the Jewish New Year. Today we have a chance to start again. Today we can think about last year and all the things that have happened. We grew taller and stronger. We learned new skills. We made new friends. We celebrated birthdays and holidays. Today we think about all of our blessings, even though it's been a difficult year in so many ways. Today we can thank God for all the wonderful things that happened since last Rosh Hashana. Today we think about our community, even though we can't be together physically. Today we can't see each other, but we know we are together as we sing and pray. Today we think about the things that we can control and all the ways we can make next year even better. There are 3 things we can do to make next year better than last year. We can pray, we can make up for our mistakes, we can share. In Hebrew, we call praying tefillah. We call making up for our mistakes tishuvah. We call sharing tzedakah. First, let us turn to God through tefillah by praying. Praying is our way of talking to God. Please rise.
La, 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 la,
When we look around and we see the world God has made for us, we feel grateful. Thank you, God, for giving us light and this beautiful day. God gave us another wonderful gift, the Torah. The Torah teaches us who we are and how to live. Thank you, God, for giving us the gift of Torah.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam.
While we miss being with all the other families in our Shari Tzedek community, we are grateful to spend time with our family. Thank you, God, for our messy, crazy, and wonderful families. Thank you for teaching us that belonging to a family is both a beautiful blessing and a sacred responsibility. Our community is made up of families that are made in many different ways, and we thank you for the diversity that exists in our extended congregational family. God is part of our big family too. Having God in our family is like having an extra parent who loves us, teaches us, and helps us. As a loving parent, God also expects us to try our best. One of the most powerful moments of every High Holy Day service is when we stand before the open ark and sing the words of Avinu Malkeinu, reaching out to God as that parent, asking God to be forgiving for our mistakes, and promising to try to do better in the coming year. So come with me now to the ark as we all rise. Avinu Malkeinu, hear our voice. Avinu Malkeinu, make an end to sickness, war, and hunger. Avinu Malkeinu, may this year be a good year. Avinu Malkeinu, fill our hands with your blessings. Avinu Malkeinu, be gracious to us and answer us, for we have not done enough good deeds. But please love us, be generous with us, and help us. Avinu Malkeinu, hear our voice. We join our voices together as we sing. Try to sing with me, even if you just sing the words, Avinu Malkeinu. Avinu Malkeinu. Avinu Malkeinu. Avinu Malkeinu. Chonenu va'anenu. Ki ein banu ma'asim. Aseh imanu. Tzedaka v'chesed. Aseh imanu. Tzedaka v'chesed. for what I did wrong. I'm sorry for what I did wrong. I'll try to be caring, more loving and sharing. Forgive me for what I did wrong. I know I didn't do the best that I could do. I'll try with all of my might to do what I know is right. Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Bonenu Va'anenu, Tien Banu Masim.
The shofar makes a loud noise, but the shofar is also saying something. It says, "Wake up!" Listen to your still small voice that tells you what is right. Do something good for someone else. Say you're sorry when you've done something wrong. And now we're going to sing a fun song called the Shofar Blast. And I know you know what it goes. So I'm going to do the tekiah and then you repeat after me, okay? So here we go. I like to hear the shofar blast, sometimes slow and sometimes fast. I like to hear the shofar blast. Have a happy, happy, happy new year. Tekiah, Shevarim, Tishuvah, tekiah. I like to hear the shofar blast, sometimes slow and sometimes fast. I like to hear the shofar blast. Have a happy, happy, happy new year. Tekiah, Shevarim, Shevarim, Tishuvah, tekiah gedolah. To hear the shofar blast, sometimes slow and sometimes fast. I like to hear the shofar blast. Have a happy, happy, happy new year. We blow the shofar so we can hear its message. It is not enough just to hear the shofar. We must also understand its meaning. If we only hear the noise and not the message, the sound of the shofar won't help us. As you hear the shofar call, remember tefillah, remember to pray. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kirishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lishmoa kol shofar. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehecheyanu v'kiyemanu v'higiyanu lazman hazeh. Tekiah. Shevarim, Teruah,
let's turn to God by doing Tishuvah. Tishuvah means three things. Tishuvah means saying I'm sorry. Tishuvah means making up for your mistakes. Tishuvah means not repeating your mistakes. We blow the shofar again. This time, it reminds us to do Tishuvah. We promise to improve. We promise to make up for our mistakes. We promise to forgive others. We prepare to blow the shofar.
Tekiah. Shevarim. Teruah. Tekiah. Giving tzedakah means sharing what you have with someone who needs it. We can share our food, our clothes, our toys, and our money. We can also share our time and our friendship. We can honor our parents. We can help others when they're sad or sick. We can be friendly. And we can study Torah because the Torah teaches us how to do all things. This time, we blow the shofar to remind us of the mitzvah of tzedakah. As you hear the shofar call, remember to share, remember to give tzedakah. Tekiah. Shevarim. Teruah. Tekiah.
Once upon a time, there was a village that was famous for making wine. Everyone in the village had their own vineyard, their own place where they grew their own grapes. And in their homes, at their farms, they turned those grapes into the best wine in the entire country. And people would come from everywhere, and they paid a lot to buy these villagers' wine, and this was how the villagers made their money to support their family. Well, one time, the rabbi in the small village gathered the whole town together and told them that the great Cantor was coming all the way from Warsaw, which was a long way away. And they wanted to make sure that when the Cantor arrived in their small little village, that they were ready to have the biggest celebration they had ever had. So the rabbi asked everyone in town, every Friday before Shabbat, to come to the town's water tower, which they had drained. I don't know how they were going to get water, but I guess they made sure they had water at home. So they drained the town's water tower, and they asked every single family to bring a pitcher of their finest wine every Friday before Shabbat for a month. And then when the Cantor arrived, they would have this ginormous celebration with the best wine that anyone had ever had. Well, Moshe and Rivka were one couple in this village. And Moshe and Rivka got home from the town meeting, and Moshe and Rivka were concerned. This wine is how we make our living, and things have been a little slow. People have been buying more from our neighbors. If we give up 4 pitchers of our finest wine, we're really going to be in a tough spot. Life is going to be hard for a little bit. But they came up with a plan. What if "We fill our pitcher with water," they said. "No one will know. The pitchers were made with clay, so you couldn't see what was inside of them. And wine, at that time, you mix with water anyway. So if they put just one pitcher of water in each week, no difference would ever be noticed by anyone." Well, that first Friday came, and everyone in town lined up to put their wine into the water tower. Moshe and Rivka got to the very back of the line because they were very, very nervous. The first person in town came and poured from her pitcher into the water tower. Others followed, and Moshe and Rivka were shaking in their boots, as they say, not sure that they were going to get away with their plan. But their time came, and they went up to the water tower, and they poured their water into the water tower. And do you know what happened? Nothing. Nothing. They went home, and they said, "We got away with it." They were so excited. The next week, they got into line a little bit more confident. This time, they started talking to their neighbors, talking about their wine and how they made their wine, and everyone was chatting with one another. Everyone was much more friendly that second week as they poured from their pitchers into the water tower. Aren't they doing a wonderful job of pouring? And this was a very, very exciting time for the village as they were preparing for the great Cantor's visit. The next week came, and this time Moshe and Rivka were at the front of the line, telling all of their neighbors that this was the best wine they had ever made. They said, "We've never made wine like this. You won't believe it," as they poured their pitcher into the water tower. And all of their neighbors followed, doing the same. Well, friends, the time finally came for the great Cantor's visit. Everyone in town was there. Everyone in town was there for the big celebration. The rabbi stood up in front of everyone and said, "Friends, it is my honor and joy to introduce to you the great Cantor of Warsaw."
Hello, everyone. Shalom.
Oh, Cantor, it is our pleasure to welcome you to our town. I want you to know that, as I think you know, our village is known for our wine. And our villagers, all of the members of our community, for the last month, every Friday before Shabbat, have been coming to our water tower, filling it with their best wine, the best of what we have. And it is our honor to welcome you, and we want you, Cantor, to pour the first cup of wine.
I am so excited. I love wine. Thank you, my people. Let us try. May I, Rabbi?
Oh, please. And what do you know, but what came out of the water tower was pure 100% water. Friends, guess what happened? Everyone in town had the same idea. Everyone in town thought, well, if we put water into the tower, our neighbors will make up for it, and no one will notice. And everyone in town was putting water instead of wine. So friends, I hope that with your families, you'll talk about what are things that you can do as a family to help other people. Things that may take away from yourselves, but help others who might be in need. What are ways over the past year that you have made sacrifices? Ways in which you've given things up in order to protect your community? And what are ways in the coming year that you too can give the best of what you have in order to make your community stronger. Shana Tova.
Today we promise to do better. We promise to pray. We promise to make up for our mistakes. We promise to share. Let us hear one more long, long blast of the shofar. As we listen, let us remember to do tefillah, tishuvah, and tzedakah. Tekiah Gedolah.
Well, friends, I am so glad that you chose to bring us into your homes today as we've celebrated together. I look forward to seeing you all really soon, and maybe it'll be tonight at our Tashlich service at Ballast Point. Next week for Yom Kippur, again, we're going to have in-person services on our side yard under a tent, but we'll have another recorded service as well if you prefer to be at home. So wherever you choose to be, we'll be celebrating the High Holy Days with you. So let's sing one more song before we say goodbye as we wish one another a Shana Tova, a Happy New Year. But before we do, let's sing. Bim, bam, bim, 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 bam, bim, 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 bam, cheery, beery, beery, bim, bam, bim, 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 bam, bim, 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 bam, Shana Tova, here we go, Shana Tova, hey, Shana Tova, hey, Shana, 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 Shana Tova, Shana Tova, hey, Shana Tova, Shana, 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 Shana Tova. Shana Tova, Shana, Shana Tova, Shana Tova, Shana, Shana Tova, Shana Tova, hey, Shana Tova, hey, Shana, 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 Shana Tova. Bim, bam, bim, 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 bam, bim, 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 bam, cheery, beery, shh. Bim, bam, bim, 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 bam, bim, 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 bam. Shana Tova, Shana Tova Umetuka, a sweet, happy, and healthy New Year to all of you and your family.